Welcome to Fresh Talk News Channel. Today, we dive into a developing story making headlines across the political landscape. Congresswoman Maxine Dexter of Oregon has announced plans to travel to El Salvador to advocate for Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia, a deported migrant she claims has had his rights stripped away. Dexter stated, "Abrego Garcia is a legal U.S. resident who has had his due process rights ripped away." Her announcement follows a high-profile visit by Senator Chris Van Hollen, Democrat Maryland, who met with Abrego Garcia earlier this week at El Salvador's controversial terrorism confinement center, SECOT, a mega-prison housing suspected gang members, including Abrego Garcia. In a public statement, Representative Dexter said, "A legal U.S. resident has had his due process rights ripped away and is now being held indefinitely in a foreign prison. This is not just one family's nightmare, it is a constitutional crisis that should outrage every single one of us. I will travel to El Salvador to confront this crisis head-on. Our constitutional rights are on the line." Abrego Garcia first entered the U.S. illegally in 2011. He received a deportation order in 2019, after two judges determined he was likely affiliated with the violent MS-13 gang. However, during the Trump administration, officials admitted in court that his deportation may have been an administrative error. Despite that, several top Trump officials now insist the removal was lawful and that Abrego Garcia is indeed a known MS-13 member. In fact, one immigration judge ruled that Garcia failed to disprove his MS-13 ties and issued a withholding order, allowing him to be deported anywhere except El Salvador due to the threat posed by rival gangs. The Supreme Court later confirmed that Garcia was protected by the 2019 withholding order and ruled his deportation to El Salvador was therefore illegal. The court directed the U.S. government to facilitate his release from custody and to treat the case as if he had never been deported. White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller commented on the case Monday, saying that after Trump designated MS-13 a terrorist organization, Abrego Garcia became ineligible for immigration relief. The controversy has deepened partisan divides. Republicans argue Garcia is a dangerous individual, citing a 2022 Homeland Security report that labels him an MS-13 member and suspected human trafficker. They also point to a 2021 domestic violence report filed by his wife, Jennifer Vasquez, who wrote, "I have multiple photos and videos of how violent he can be and all the bruises he has left me." On Friday, President Trump released a photo of Garcia's hand showing alleged MS-13 gang tattoos. Meanwhile, Democrats like Dexter describe Garcia as a hardworking Maryland resident who has been denied justice. But critics are asking why lawmakers like Van Hollen would travel abroad to support someone accused of gang involvement and abuse, while staying silent on victims like Rachel Morin, a Maryland woman murdered in 2023 by an illegal immigrant. To emphasize the political divide, the White House released a split-screen image. One side showed Angel mom Patty Morin, grieving the loss of her daughter Rachel while being comforted by President Trump in the Oval Office. The other side showed Senator Van Hollen speaking with Abrego Garcia in prison. The caption read, "We are not the same." The White House also tagged Senator Van Hollen directly. Thanks for watching Fresh Talk News Channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more news and updates.